Well, hey everybody, this is Joe G with the Penn Reading Industrial Division, and today we are in the month of February, and at the end of this month is the Northwest Arkansas Hobby Show Train Show that's happening on February 24th. And so I volunteered to do an open house on this layout from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And so this quick video series, I think I'm going to have a video about maybe once a week that will come out, fingers crossed, on some of the stuff that I need to do. I have a lot of work that I want to get done in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That way the layout looks a little more presentable. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do some of the extra wiring that I want to do. However, there's a lot of scenery work that has been happening and some more scenery work that will be going on in the next few weeks, so we can see some of the progress that's happening with the layout. And so one of the things that I've been working on is this Vine Street Station platform scene. And what we're going to be doing is probably have a video, maybe 10 minutes long the most, showing some of the progress on the layout, all the way up to getting ready for the 2024 train show in Northwest Arkansas, and also the open house. And there will be a video on the train show, so look forward to that as well. And the plan is to have the Maple Leaf area of the NMRA to come over and hang out and see the layout. So time to get stuff really, you know, just nice the way I want it to look, at least for some of the folks that are to come over. Anybody could come over, by the way, so anybody wants to come and see the layout, hang out. It's from 4 to 10 p.m. open house. You can message me if you like to come. I'll send you some of the details. So I'll be advertising this layout for the next month. So also with this, I also have a NMRAX clinic that will be happening. I think so far it's March 23rd. It's that Saturday. So I need to have some nice photos of the layout to show a nice presentation on the Penn Reading Industrial Division. And also Ray from Around the Layout podcast, he has asked me to be, he wants to interview me for this layout as well. And so, yeah, we got to get this layout really rolling with some of the scenery work. And so what we're going to do here first is showing you the progress on Vine Street Station. Alright, so you can see Vine Street Station is starting to take some shape here. Literally some shape. And what I'm using is this 3/16 foam board you can get at Walmart for like $3, not even. And so it comes in black, and so what I did was I cut it to size, and that's why I could fit it in between the tracks here. And then use this one-time lightweight spackling compound, and I filled it in all the gaps here so it goes flush against the rail. And the cool thing is that I was able to move the track and straighten it so that way it's nice and even, and also the track is nice and straight. Obviously it's really nice and straight so that it looks really presentable and looks great for the station platforms. So after some cleaning the track, it's now time to continue painting the platforms. And all I'm doing is using Anita's Acrylics gray paint. It's flat gray. It takes a couple of coats, but once it's dry, we'll add a little wash to it. And that way, you'll be able to have the platforms weathered. So we're going to do that here in a second, and I'll show you. Alright, it is finally dry. I had to add another layer of this compound so that way I can add some of the cracks, fill in some of the cracks, and then add another coat of paint on it. Now we're going to do a black wash to make it look nice and weathered, and then it's time to add some ballast. So let's look at what it looks like when it's all weathered. Alright, so we have done the weathering on the platforms here. Just using a foam brush and some black paint that is diluted, as you can see here. And I added some ballast. Now the main lines are going to be using this tan-ish dirt color, and the black is going to be used for the yard and lead and interchange track right here in the background, as you can see. The next step is going to be using a rubbing alcohol that is mixed with Indian ink That way it looks a lot darker. It makes the ballast look a lot more weathered. And then it's going to be used a half, I think it's a, I want to say, well, it's not Scenic Express, but I'm going to use a mixture of 50-50 of water and glue in here too. So it's been a long time since I've ever ballast track. So hopefully it runs well. I think it looks pretty good. There's some spots here that still need a little touch up. And then the fun part is going to be cleaning the rails from the paint. So that's the next step after the ballast dries. So, alright, so you can see here, the ballast is being dried as we speak. Next thing, once this all dries, it's time to add, well, not to add really, more like clean the rails so I can actually run drains. But you can see here how that India ink and mixed with the rubbing alcohol really weathers this ballast really nice. And it makes the black a lot darker because it does give a little bluish tint. Now, in the beginning I should have said I've been using Arizona Rock and Mineral for my ballast, and it's one of the best products out there. The stuff from the Rises layout was kind of bluish. I really wanted more black, and so that's why I think he diluted the rubbing alcohol with India ink. That way it can become like more of a black and a weathered look on the ballast. Plus the rubbing alcohol spreads the glue really nice and even and really helps adhere the ballast to your track. So that's what we did here. So let's look on the other side of the layout as now this is drying to look at some more progress. Alright, so we're on the other side of Emma in the industrial section. You can see here Johnny from Johnny Quest Customs did a fantastic job on the static grass. We weathered and added some ground cover in between all the grass to make it a little more realistic than just a solid green color. And then we used that same rock material in color here, along with the same techniques of using the wash with the Indian ink and the rubbing alcohol mixed with the water and soap to adhere the ballast to the spurs and to the track here. So a lot of progress has been going on here. To me, this is presentable for the upcoming open house. So there's something to look here, and the next step along here is going to be doing all these switches doing over the switches, well, adding the frog machines, well, frog juicers, and then the switch machines, excuse me. That's the next step. So a lot of progress here. So let's go check and see how that stuff is drying. And once it's dry, let's clean the track. Alright, so here is pretty much the final result after the track has been cleaned. I had to do some little bit of touch up, but not too bad. But see, yeah, it looks pretty good. The cars, they're real nice and smooth over the ballast, thank goodness. And if you see how it dries with use a little of that India ink and that rubbing alcohol, it weathers the ballast. So there's a little trick you can use. And so that's it looks really good. I like the way it looks. And oh boy, look at that mess. But something that needed to be done before the show and the open house is that I needed to really brace these backdrops, and now it's time to get the material to build the elevated section for that track that's back there in the corner. That way that's all completed and done. That way the next step is working on the foreground with the buildings for the Vine Street and the Emma City scene. And then it's really just cleaning the layout. Oh boy. Alright, so that's that for this video. For this update on what's going on this week on the layout before this train show and the open house. So guys, I hope you have a great week, and stay tuned for next week on more shenanigans to really get this layout ready for the open house and the Northwest Arkansas train show that is happening on February 24th. And it's a Saturday. I'll see you guys there, and I'll see you on YouTube next week for another layout update and progress. You guys take care.